Okay, so we did the say hi. This was an example of a function that took a string for an argument and didn't return anything. Okay. We did the add one. Let's see what else we've got. Some built-in functions. There are a lot of built-in functions. We said it to the first class, one of the things we liked about Python is that there was a ton of support out there and a lot of stuff written by other people. They give you three examples. They give you min and max. And these are actually just built into it. So if I say A equals, Stephen, I can say max A. Max is a function, and I'm feeding it, in this instance, I'm feeding it a string. What do you think that V represents?
The longest position in the alphabet that leads to the string.
We're saying the same thing. It's the furthest distance through the alphabet. There's nothing after a V. So if we do the same thing, I wonder if I can get it to return two different things. Min A. Take that one out. We'll do it again. The minimum was A, and the maximum is a V. Why would that S be the first thing?
Because it counts capitals as a set before lowercase.
Yeah. The way that ASCII works, ASCII, your American Standard Code for Information Interchange, I'm bluffing with that. When each one of your letters is assigned a number, and I think capital A is like a 64, and they increment beyond that. The capital letters come before the lowercase letters. So anything capital is going to become anything before anything small. The upshot of that is you are never going to have a minimum maximum out of letters. It's not that handy of a thing. It's just more of an example than anything else.
Spit out random ones because mine just gave me E.
It gave E?
You used a different name.
If you use a different name, yeah. If it's all small case, it might be an E.
Yeah, I generally.
Sometimes you have to look at it for a second. This actually may be a little bit more handy. What's 6? That's the length of my string. I know my name is 6 and 6. It should be 12. 13 because of the space. A equals 5, 6, I'm bluffing here. We'll see how this works. Haha. What I've done here is I've built a list. And it's giving me the length of my list. And I'm going to fudge and come down here and say max A. Min A. Okay, so if my list contains 5, 6, 7, 8, my max was 8, my min was 5, and my length was 4. And I can run this further if I stick in 78. How is it going to change the values? Is the maximum going to change? Yes, it should be 78. Is the minimum going to change? It shouldn't. What should the length be? It should have gone up to 5. Length goes up to 5. The max went up to 78. The minimum shouldn't change. Okay, so you can feed it a list of prices. What's my highest? What's my lowest? How many are there? So no matter what size string you give it, it's going to work, or what size list. Okay. The type conversion, you know how we do string and float? Don't those look a lot like a function? That's actually what they are. If you dig into the guts of them, they're actually functions. Now, we jump from that into random numbers. Anytime that you deal with computers, just about any time that you deal with computers, computer cannot generate a random number. Did y'all realize that? That can be a very philosophical question for you to ponder in your spare time. If I can say 12, that came from absolutely nowhere. There was nothing that led up to it. A computer can produce all kinds of numbers that you think are random, but they're really not. Given the same parameters of the stuff that it was given, it's going to spit out the same number again every time. You think that's ridiculous until you read stories about guys going to Vegas with some kind of little computer in their shoe and knowing exactly when to hit it. He would know when to bet and what to bet and gain an advantage because computers really can't generate a real random number. That's actually happened. If a computer has to generate a random number, normally it will take entropy from your mouse. I've seen some programs that would say, move your mouse around for a minute while I get some entropy so I can generate real random numbers. Or it takes the millisecond when you hit the enter key and produces effectively, for most of our purposes, a pseudo-random number is fine. But I'll pause just for a second there to make a philosophical point that a computer really can't generate a truly random number unless you have some kind of device that's measuring something in the environment around it. Maybe. I don't know. You can read on your own. Here they're giving you the for I in a range. That's called a for loop. And it's going to loop a specific number of times. The big thing for this is for the first time they're bringing you an import. And we know what functions are. Well, random in this case is a file that Python knows about, that this editor knows about. And it can say, oh, let me go grab this hunk of functions. And the way that you address them, like we're going to say, ooh, I don't like this. Import random. And that's going to bring those functions in, and then I can use them. So I can say x equals random.random. And that will give me a random number. There's also y equals random.choice and a variable. And what I'm trying to show you is you call these by giving it the name of the library and then a period and then what you want out of the library. So what all's in that library? I don't know. Python random. Random numbers. These have been hit so many times that they're actually, there you go. First thing at the top in Google when I said Python random gives me, here's all the things that I can use. Rand range, choice, that's the one I'm going to show you. Shuffle, sample, random, we're going to use that one. So basically, that's giving me a list of all the stuff that I can use with random. And that was easy enough to find. Where did my code go? Here we go. X equals, import random. Normally that'll go at the top of your page. Once you've imported it, you're good. Import random, x equals random, print x. What'd I do wrong? I see it. Do y'all see it?
Both parentheses are-
I went too quick with my print command, didn't I? I didn't put it in parentheses. There. Now, if you go back to the documentation and read it, and most random functions do work this way, it's going to give you some random number between 0 and 1. So if we hit it again, it gave me a different one. All right, so it's doing a pretty good job of giving me a random number. Let's do the example in the book. I'm going to say for I in range 10. That's going to give me 10 random or 10 instances through this loop. Print I wonder if I can do this. I'm sort of dubious of this. There we go. I made my code a little bit smaller. I got rid of my variable. Put this straight in to my print function. And it gave me 10 pseudo-random numbers. Make sense? The other one, and I kind of like this, for random, A equals rock, paper, scissors, lizard. Y'all ever do rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock? Oop. Tell you what, let's break this down where it's a little bit easier to understand. A equals random choice A. That's not going to work. Somebody's got to rename something. B. Lizard. A is an array, is what it's called. It's an array of strings. So I've got, if we want to be cute, we can say len A. I have 5 things in there. So when I hit this again, what should happen?
It's gonna give you another random option.
Yeah, there's a, what is it, a 20% chance that I'll get lizard again? Nope, got paper. Oh, got lizard again. Got Spock that time. Okay, so random being an example of a built-in function that's already there for you that you can go and use. Okay. They've got import math. I'm not going to do these. I think you get the idea. You can import math and do math and get sine, cosine, tangent, and other handful of fancier math functions. And they end up with really where we started. They're defining. The trick with this, DEF defines your function. Okay? You have to put the colon at the end of it. And also, you got to have a blank line down here for it to know where the end of the function is. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Some people are getting these jokes. Monty Python's still popular, isn't he?
I mean, kind of. In certain circles.
Certain circles?
Yes.
Okay.
From a certain point of view.
certain point of view.
I was doing all this.
Okay, so these are showing. We talk about parameters and arguments. We've already talked about those. Somehow or another, he came up with he liked fruitful functions. A fruitful function is one that returns something. Well, a function doing something, maybe even if it's not spitting something back out, can still be fruitful. And again, he finishes up where we kind of started. It's reuse of code. Debugging, lots of print statements will help. Glossary. Okay. Any questions about functions? All right, then why don't we